The Tale of a Certain Courtier and a Secretive Monk, Volume 12. Once upon a time, due to the fear of being discovered, I shall refrain from mentioning names. In the household of a certain courtier, there was a well-known monk who secretly visited. While the man was unaware, the monk entered the house around the 20th of the third month. During this time, the monk settled into the home and, having removed his robes, acted with an air of satisfaction. The lady of the house took the discarded garments and mixed them with the man's clothes hanging on a pole. Meanwhile, the man sent someone from within, saying, "I wish to go out and play with others, so please send my eboshi, cap, and hunting clothes." The lady of the house took the proper hunting clothes from the pole, along with the eboshi, and put them in a bag to send. Once they arrived at the place of play, when the messenger opened the bag to check, he found the eboshi but no hunting clothes. Instead, there was a folded robe belonging to the monk. Puzzled, he thought, what could this mean? The courtiers who were there also witnessed this. Although they felt embarrassed and puzzled, there was nothing they could do. While folding the clothing, they placed it back in the bag, saying, "We'll return it as it is." The poem inscribed was, "How could it be that today, in this haze, the robes are still yet to return, only to find, in the dark, they've mixed with the wrong garments? Thus, they sent it back just like that, without returning home, and it ended there." The lady, in her foolishness, had thought, "I will take the hunting clothes and place them in the bag," but due to the darkness, she mixed them up. As the commotion ensued, she accidentally swapped the monk's robe for the man's. When the wife saw the man's writing, she wondered what was so strange, yet helpless, she let it be. Though they tried to keep it hidden, this incident became known in the world, and the man was praised, saying, "He is clever and cunning indeed." Thus, the story has been passed down. The Tale of Enshō, the Silversmith, Volume 13. Once upon a time, there was a silversmith named Enshō. His father was Enri, and his grandfather was Koriaki. Enshō was summoned to the court. Out of jealousy, the officials instructed, "Let him be warned." In the court, there was a large pot filled with water into which they placed Enshō, leaving his neck exposed. Since it was November, the cold was unbearable. As the night grew deeper, Enshō began to shout for help. The court was close to the imperial residence, and his cries could clearly be heard. Enshō cried out, saying, "People of the world, be wary. Do not go near the great Emperor Daijoten. It is a terrifying and unbearable affair. Such a man should only be among the common folk. If you hear this, take heed." Hearing this, the emperor remarked, "This man speaks truly." Suddenly, he was summoned, and the emperor granted him a reward and released him from his predicament. Thus, it was said, "Enshō speaks with wisdom. He has seen the merits of speaking." The officials remarked, "He has escaped through the wisdom of speech rather than the merits of a smith." This tale has been passed down through the ages. The Tale of Ninjō, the Teacher, Volume 14. Once upon a time, during the reign of Emperor Shujaku, there was a teacher named Ninjō, renowned for his exceptional ability to teach. He was also known for his eloquence, engaging in discussions with numerous courtiers and noblemen, and was quite adept at entertaining them. One day, as he spoke in praise of the Buddha, he noticed a half-formed figure called Yai at the mouth of the Fujiwara, obscured behind a cypress fan. Ninjō remarked, "Even a humble object like this is not to be overlooked when placed near the toilet." To this, the half-formed figure responded, "I will not allow a dog with a shaved tail to enter," prompting Ninjō to climb up and address the courtiers, saying, "It is truly harsh to call this Yai an inferior object." Upon hearing this, the courtiers praised Yai highly, and Ninjō was delighted by their admiration. From that point on, the reputation of Yai increased, receiving praise throughout the palaces. Ninjō was known for speaking in such a manner, and Yai's response was somewhat malicious and subtle. Although she was a woman, her ability to speak so well was intriguing to the people of the world, leading them to feel entertained. Thus, the story has been passed down. The Tale of the Teacher from Bungo, Volume 15 ties. Once upon a time, there was a teacher named Takshkwak from Bungo. Having become a teacher, he descended to the land, and upon completing his duties, he thought, "I will extend my responsibilities." He loaded his ship with appropriate goods and set sail for the capital. However, acquaintances warned him, recently there are many pirates at sea. Without proper guards, it is foolish to load your ship heavily. The teacher replied, even if I were to be targeted by pirates, would they take my belongings? With that, he took 3 bundles of rice and, without any soldiers or guards, continued his journey. As he traveled between provinces, he soon encountered 2 or 3 suspicious pirate ships that approached him from behind and ahead, surrounding his vessel. The crew of the pirate ships cried out, "The pirates are coming!" and were filled with panic. However, the teacher remained calm. Then, a pirate ship approached closely. As it drew nearer, the teacher, dressed in a blue robe and wearing a saffron-colored hat, stepped out slightly from behind the curtain and called to the pirates, "Who are you to approach us?" The pirates replied, "We have come to ask for some food for the poor." The teacher responded, "This ship has little food and only a few light items that people might need. If you wish, I will give you some, but if the people of Chikuzen hear that the Iza no Nudo has encountered pirates and had all his goods taken, that would be a great shame." He continued, "I am already nearing 80 years of age. It is a great surprise that I have lived this long. Having escaped numerous battles in the East, if it were to end now at the hands of you pirates, that would be truly unfortunate. So hurry and cut off this old priest's head. The men with me will not fight you. Now that I have become a monk, it is not the time to engage in battle. Instead, let us quickly row this ship and assist you in moving forward." Hearing this, the pirates remarked, "He must be the Iza no Hira Shimbachi. Quickly, let us flee." And they rowed away swiftly. Their ship was faster than a bird, disappearing quickly. At that moment, the teacher said to his companions, "Look here, we are indeed not being robbed by the pirates." He then calmly continued to the capital Slayer, where he became a teacher once more. As he traveled, he recounted his tale, and people praised him, saying, "He is indeed a clever old priest." They noted that his claim of being the Izano Shimbachi only added to his reputation. "It seems this teacher is skilled at speech," they said, and thus the story has been passed down. The Tale of the Historian from Aso, Volume 16. Once upon a time, there was a historian from Aso who was tall but had a heart full of cunning like a master thief. His home was in the western capital, and one night, after attending to official business, he returned late. Exiting through the eastern middle gate, he got into a cart heading down to the great palace. He removed all his clothing and folded them neatly, placing them directly under the mat of the cart. He then dressed in a crown and sandals, appearing naked in the cart. As they traveled west from Ninjō, passing near the Mafuku Gate, thieves appeared suddenly from the side. When one of them struck the cowherd boy at the cart's yoke, the boy abandoned the cow and fled. The other attendants behind the cart also fled in fear. The thieves approached, pulling back the curtain to see the historian sitting there bare. They were astonished and asked, "What is this?" The historian replied, "I was at the great palace, and the gentleman here made me undress and take my clothing," answering humbly as if addressing a worthy person. The thieves, amused, simply left him be. Afterward, the historian called out for the coward boy, who returned with everyone else, and they headed home. When he told his wife about the incident, she laughed and said, "Your cleverness surpasses even that of the thieves." Indeed, it was a frightening heart. To remove all his clothing and hide them while thinking, "This is how it should be," was not something that anyone else could easily conceive. This historian is truly skilled at speech, they said, and thus the story has been passed down.